After months of intense waiting, the next Call of Duty game by Infinity Ward is finally here. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 continues the story that players were left with from the previous Modern Warfare, and includes some new and intense features. Does the game live up to all the hype, or are we just getting the same game with a few new additions? As you play through the single-player campaign, you take control of Sergeant Gary Roach Sanderson, a member of an elite multinational commando unit known as Task Force 141. Other characters return, such as Sergeant Soap McTavish, as well as other familiar faces. The story is set about 5 years after the first Modern Warfare, and the Russian nationalists have returned under the leadership of Vladimir Makarov. You play through various stories that ultimately come together, which makes it interesting and allows the story to keep moving you forward.
Any word on
Throughout the campaign, you are taken everywhere from the harsh conditions in the snow to the sandy deserts in Europe. There are also driving levels such as snowmobiles and water rafting, which break up the pace of all the shooting on foot. The game manages the pace very well, and you never get bored of doing just one thing. You do, however, are almost always in some type of action, which keeps the intensity high. The single-player campaign takes about 6 to 10 hours to finish, depending on your difficulty, which is similar to the first game, but is also worth every second of your time.
I got your back, Roach.
On one of the single-player levels, you play as a terrorist, going through an airport terminal, killing all of the civilians. Before you start the single-player campaign, you are asked if you don't want to play any controversial levels, which lets you skip the level, but I think that since Infinity Ward wanted to make a game that was very realistic, including this part was definitely a thought-out decision. The gameplay has pretty much stayed the same from the previous Call of Duty games, so if you're expecting something different, no, it's still the great Call of Duty formula. There are new weapons such as the TAR-21, which is a new assault rifle, and the Riot Shield, which you do get to use in the single-player campaign. They are fun to use, but don't really add anything special to the gameplay.
Take out those vehicles!
So one of the biggest new features in Modern Warfare 2 is the new Special Ops mode that includes 2-player cooperative play. Spec Ops mode includes several fast-paced action missions similar to the Horde mode in Gears of War, or Halo ODST's Firefight mode. Most of these levels are more difficult than normal campaign missions, but they are not related to the main storyline at all. Missions are unlocked by earning stars, which are acquired by playing levels at certain difficulties. For example, regular difficulty earns you 1 star, Hardened earns you 2, and Veteran earns you 3. As you complete each mission, it rewards you with more maps and harder difficulty levels. The only thing I wish they included was a 4-player Special Ops mode, which I think would have worked quite well. And finally, the mode that most players will continue playing for months or years is the multiplayer mode. All of the same modes are back, like free-for-all and team deathmatch, and there are also over a dozen new maps to play on. They range in various locations from the desert to airport terminals. Kill streaks are back, and there are even more to love. At 3 kills in a row, you get the UAV, at 10 kills you get a chopper, and at 25 kills in a row, you get a tactical nuke, which is pretty awesome. That basically kills everyone who is alive. There are also perks if you play online, like Marathon, which gives you unlimited sprint, and Last Stand, which lets you use a pistol before dying. The Martyrdom perk is now gone, since a lot of players did not like that one at all. Overall, Modern Warfare 2 brings back and refines everything we loved from the first game. The single-player campaign is great and intense, and the multiplayer will always be something gamers will come back to. The new Spec Ops mode is something different and will keep players wanting to get a higher and higher score. If you have any reason to buy a game, Modern Warfare 2 should be that game. We give Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 a 9.7 out of 10.